So from Alpha News, state-funded Minneapolis food pantry sparked criticism for serving black and indigenous folks only. FOLX. By the way, that's how it's actually spelled on the sign, and you'll see that. I wonder, do you think that's on purpose? Like to highlight their differentiation insofar as their use of Ebonics from Whitey? We says folks. You say folks. We're going to spell it different because I want to be different. I want to stand out. Interesting. Yeah. At the heart of the backlash was a sign posted on the pantry that read, "The resources found in here are intended for black and indigenous folks," even though they come mostly from Whitey, or from everybody, mostly Whitey. Please refrain from taking anything if you're not. So a food bank that's supposed to be charity, and for poor people, it's only for black poor people, right? Because if you're white, you can't possibly be poor, right? But what if you are white and poor? Doesn't that mean you should get access to this? No, because your daddy and your daddy's daddy raped my grandmama. Well, great grandmama. Wait a second. Isn't that just this old sins of the father argument with a twist? It's interesting. So I'm responsible for the sins of my father's 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 father. Get out of here. Where am I benefiting? I'm sitting in a hotel room 2 weeks from homelessness. What are you talking about? Where's the systemic racism that's supposed to be benefiting me? I don't see it, yo, and I'm pretty sure I'm white, but okay. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I need to get one of those DNA tests. Maybe I'm more, maybe got some black blood mixed in there. Maybe I've got enough of other ethnicities that I don't qualify as white. Even though apparently all you need is like 10% black genetics to qualify as white. I mean, just ask Kamala Harris. But anyway, what started as an effort to address hunger in North Minneapolis. Hunger? Who's going hungry in America? All these poor people got food stamps. Everybody going into that food bank is overweight, by the way. I almost guarantee it, because every American's overweight, practically. I don't see too many underweight Americans unless they're, smoking the pipe, yo. Sucking down the meth. If they're not meth heads or crack heads, generally they're overweight. What are you talking about? I find that amusing. You ever go to one of these food banks or drive by, or like a soup kitchen, and like there's a line a mile long and everybody's a fat pig? And I'm supposed to believe these people are suffering? They're not suffering from starvation, that's for sure. Yeah. Hunger in North Minneapolis has ignited controversy. You don't say. A woke lefty has ignited controversy. Big shocker. Michaela, is that how it's pronounced? But Jackson Kiko, what the hell kind of name is that? It's like Kiko. All right, Jackson, she's black, of course, used a Pass the Black health grant. So this grant essentially is for black people only, and it's pretty explicit, like it's to help black people and indigenous people only. Isn't that? Wait a second. What about the Civil Rights Act? You can't do that. Can the government take your taxpayer dollars and only give them to black people? Apparently. That's because for the longest time, all tax dollars have gone to whitey. Really? Isn't the single largest recipient of welfare black people? What are you talking about? This is absurd. This is just more welfare. How's this going to help black people? From the state of Minneapolis to launch the Food Trap Project. What the hell kind of name is Food Trap? Oh, that's because welfare is a trap. It traps you in poverty forever. Food Trap Project Bodega. A free food pantry aimed at serving underserved residents. Well, what if those underserved residents are white? That's impossible. There's no such thing as underserved white people. Really? Have you been to Appalachia lately? No. Located on the property of Sanctuary Covenant Church. I wonder what the church has to say about this. I mean, they're largely funded by Whitey's donations, so I don't know. How's this going to work out? These grant funds are specifically designed to support organizations that work with U.S.-born African Americans. Oh! I'd be willing to bet, though, that you don't have to pull out evidence that you're a U.S.-born African American to access this food bank. Interesting. And by the way, what if you're a white South African? Can you also get no, right, you're not. You don't have the right pigmentation. For the purposes of the RFP, blacks or African American specifically references the U.S.-born African American population, for whom studies indicate the health has been impacted as a result of historical trauma. Studies indicate? That's not proof. What do you mean indicate? What does that mean? Studies indicate that not correlate. Wait. Where's the correlative? By the way, weren't black people doing better under Jim Crow? I mean, they have greater levels of marriage, less divorce, much less, 80% or something of black families, maybe more. 80-90% of black families were intact. Most of them were employed. You didn't have them all sucking on the teat of the welfare state. Now you've got 75-80% single mama households in the black community. Epic levels of black-on-black crime, just crime in general, largely stemming from the black people believing they're so disenfranchised that they need to lash out and that they in fact are entitled to and have a right to other people's property, so they're robbing and stealing and killing to get it if they have to. But you, of course, can't kill to protect your property. It's not that important. Even though apparently it's very important to the black person stealing it and killing you. This trauma include, now it's like 60%, right, of all murders in America are committed by like 6% of the population. Not even 6. So you go, what is it, 13% black population in America, cut that in half, like 6.5%, but it's really only like the 18 to 35, so it's like, 2-3% of the population when you break it down by age, as well as gender and race. 2-3% of the population is committing 60% of all the homicides. Oh, but their problems don't stem from crime, because crime stems from poverty, right? Not the other way around. Okay. So I don't know what this, studies indicate nonsense. That's just nonsense. You're just coming to a conclusion based on the evidence you're looking at, based on confirmation bias. This trauma includes post-traumatic slave syndrome, but you weren't a slave. That would be like if I had a grandson and my son raised him right and never abused him, and then he's claiming to have post-traumatic stress disorder from the abuse I suffered as a child. What? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, I spent time around Granddad, and Granddad, me, he was mean and nasty, maybe, or I don't know, but he was abused, so there must have been some kind of ancillary effect in how he acted, how he treated others around him that rubbed off on me or something. I don't know. I'm just making up shit so I can get free stuff. And epigenetic inheritance? That's not how it works. That's total nonsense. This is pseudoscience at its best. Phrenology is more valid than this stuff. Grant. Oh my God. According to the state's website, the grant program is designed to reduce health disparities among African Americans and foster a vibrant and thriving community. Don't you think the problem might be that they just eat too much? Have you seen black people lately? I mean, whitey is bad enough, but blacks are much worse. They're all fat. Can you tell me the last time you saw a fit, hot black chick? I haven't seen any since I've been back in America. Where are they? I haven't seen any in like 5 years. Granted, I don't get out a lot, but the only hot-looking chick I saw, and only one picture, I think, that was black was on Facebook the other day. And it was like, a good-looking black woman? Wow. Okay. It's a rarity, man. It's like seeing a condor. But then again, aren't they extinct? Well, so is the hot-looking black chick. So is the thin black person in general, it seems. So it seems to me that black people's problems don't have to do with too little food, but too much. And of the wrong type. They're eating all that processed crap. They're eating all that processed sugar. And all that crappy food with chemicals. Hell, I think some big number, I don't remember what it was. 30% or something, I don't know, of EBT food stamp sales are like soda. And there's like this... another 20-30% like candy and such. It's ridiculous. And even the stuff that's not candy is very unhealthy. It's absurd. You want me to believe that the problem in the black community is lack of food? No. I say it's too much and of the wrong type. Oh, well, we can't afford healthy food. Get some oatmeal. It's cheap. Get some ground beef. That's cheap, too. Oh, no. That would take too much effort. You got to cook that. See, the ho-hos and the ding-dings, ding-dongs, whatever the hell you call them. I just pull that out. The Hershey's Kisses and the Little Debbie's, those are very easy to eat, you see? We have no energy to cook because we eat all this crap. So we're going to continue to eat this crap, right? Yeah. It's a vicious cycle, yeah. So, foster a vibrant and thriving community. Yeah, okay. Why don't you stop teaching them that they're victims right out of the womb? Why don't you stop doing that? Oh, no. Can't do that. They might lose our permanent Democratic voting base. Disenfranchise black people. But now some say it's doing the opposite. Yeah, it's called enabling. Reports emerged that the non-black residents were being turned away from the pantry. I don't know how you justify that. So it's wrong to discriminate, so we're going to discriminate. Oh, I love it. No, so it turns out the left has no problem with discrimination so long as they're the ones in power and doing the discriminating. They don't want to be discriminated against, though. Oh, no. But they'll discriminate against you. Yeah, it's all about power. Reports emerge. Yeah, non-black residents. You mean Whitey? Why do you say non-black? I doubt any Hispanic people have been turned away. A woke black person sees Hispanic, she thinks, oh, Native American. Whatever that means. I'm a Native American. It just means I was born here. But anyway, raising concerns about racial discrimination in a neighborhood where many diverse groups reside. Well, I don't think these neighborhoods would be all that diverse if this Kiki got her way. Food Trap Project. A 100% free resource hub, but only if you're black and indigenous. Yeah, folks, disproportionately affected by food apartheid? That's just like separating whitey and blackie. Is she saying that black people have less access to food? Just in general? Oh, well, there's food deserts. In my neighborhood, there's no grocery store. I gotta get on the bus and sit for an hour. Well, maybe if black people didn't steal from grocery stores thinking they were entitled because everybody's telling them that they're, oppressed and disenfranchised, that they're the victims of evil white racism, well, maybe, just maybe there would be grocery stores there. But since they're robbed blind so much that they're losing money in your neighborhood, well, no grocery store. Of course, her answer isn't, that black people stop stealing and thereby creating these food deserts. No, her solution is communism. Steal money from taxpayers to give food, but only to black people. To solve a problem they created. Lovely. In it, you'll find fresh produce, plant-based goods, educational tools, and medicinal herbs. Interesting. Yeah, this is weird. This is bizarre. Signs spark allegations of exclusion. What do you mean allegations? White people can't get food there. That's not an allegation. That's a fact. Heart of the backlash was the sign. Yeah, we've seen it. Anyway, for some, like Howard Dotson, the message was a slap in the face. Dotson, a Twin Cities chaplain and caretaker of a nearby apartment building, said one of his tenants was refused help at the pantry because he was white. Yeah. Yeah, it turns out that when you exclude people based on race, they're going to cry racism. Why isn't this be called what it is? Racism. It's against Whitey. You can't be racist against Whitey because we ginned up this ridiculous definition that says you have to have institutional power as well. And since we don't have that, supposedly, even though we're getting all this free shit and you're not, so we have tons of influence while you have none, because the Democratic Party wants to pander to us, we can't be racist toward you. I see. Yeah, so this is not building community, it's destroying it. Of course, it creates division. Obviously, that's the whole goal. Dotson said, adding that he has filed a complaint with the Minneapolis Civil Rights Commission. Good luck. Dotson, who is also white, claims he was personally turned away from the pantry by Jackson. Get out, Whitey! You want to eat? The nerve of you! Don't you know you're privileged? I went over there and confronted her, said Dotson. I told her that I saw the sign and asked if she really thought she could take grant money from the state and discriminate against poor white people. Well, in her mind, there's no such thing. And they're guilty of the sins of their fathers, don't you know? And even if they're poor, they're somehow benefiting from the systemic oppression of her people, meaning the system is unfairly enfranchising them. They're being enfranchised by a system set up by Whitey that somehow is still racist, even though they're poor. And the black people who are somehow supposedly disenfranchised are getting all this help and aid that Whitey ain't getting. And how is Whitey, who's poor enough that he needs to go to a food bank, how is he enfranchised by this system? I don't know. According to Dotson, Jackson reiterated that the food pantry was established to service black and indigenous people, and that he could go across the street to get resources from the church's free pantry if he needed it. That's apartheid. Wait. Isn't that segregation? Which is what apartheid is. But systemic? Wait. So she's against systemic racism and discrimination, and yet she's practicing it. Using the system, because this is a grant from the state using taxpayer dollars. So this is state-funded segregation. Yeah, but it benefits me, so it's okay. Talk about a lack of self-awareness or understanding of anything. Well, she's a leftist, of course. So he could go across the street. Yeah, apartheid is wrong unless I'm the one that's running the show. Yo, I see. Lovely. Jackson defends Pantry's mission. Of course she does. She's just going to double and triple and quadruple down like any good leftist would. They don't apologize. But you have to for something you had nothing to do with. Yeah. Speaking to Alpha News, Jackson admitted to the signage but denied turning anyone away. Well, she's a liar. Who do you believe? The chaplain? And the rando white dude? Or her? A lefty that believes in moral relativism and that everybody's truth is truth, unless you're white and don't believe in systemic racism, and then you're wrong. There was no one there directly turning them away. Lie. You know I don't believe that. They felt entitled to the resources that were enough for their demographic. What? Privilege is real. Wait a second. So if they felt entitled, didn't she just contradict herself? She says they came in, they felt entitled to the resources. So you're essentially saying you didn't give them to them. You're essentially admitting that you didn't give the resources because you're saying they felt entitled. Were they entitled? No. So if you felt they weren't entitled, then you turn them away. I'm just talking about how I feel. I didn't say I turned them away. Yeah, okay, sweetheart. You're as much as admitting it. She also dismissed Dotson's complaint to the Civil Rights Commission as political violence. Yeah, okay. How is that violence? We hope these white patrons can go about their day and not harass us. Oh, you're... Right, of course. That's the typical lefty line, right? You call them on their BS and they become the victim all of a sudden. Yeah, okay. How many white people are black people killing again? How many murders are Blackie responsible for? 60% of all murders? Like 3% of the population? Yeah. Oh, but you're a victim. Oh, of words. Okay. Jackson argued that the grants, and it does, by the way, specifically targets African-American communities affected by systemic racism. That's never been proven. You have no proof of that. That's just a claim. Can you prove there's systemic racism? Show me one law, show me anything that is written down anywhere that is enshrined in law that says whitey gets this. But by the way, the only racism I see that's systemic is against white people here. The very thing that she's complaining about and says is a real thing, she's actually guilty of. Of course, right? Because that's how the left operates, right? Everything they're guilty of, they accuse you of, right? Yeah, they learned that from Karl Marx. Who was a Jew? Yeah, she wouldn't want to be a follower of his, be admitting she is anyway. Don't a lot of black people hate Jews? I don't know. Anyway, he would qualify as white in her eyes, wouldn't he? I don't know. Jackson argued, yeah. She says her work is an effort to right those wrongs. Imaginary wrongs? Okay. The community needs it. Do they? Yeah. And wants it. Oh, well, you got to get what you want all the time, right? Entitlement. And is willing to go to bat for this cause. What cause? The black community consistently experiences higher rates of hunger compared to whites. No, they don't. What are you talking about? Black people on average are fatter than white people. That's a lie. Due to racism. No evidence for that. But I got evidence for your racism. Economic and environmental factors. Yeah, but you have no evidence for what the cause is. You believe correlation equals causation, so long as it fits your world narrative and view. According to Jackson, the free pantry has distributed over 2,000 pounds of food. That's it? How long's it been open? That's not very much. By the way, is she getting a salary out of this? I bet she is. She's probably getting a good salary running this thing. Nice. Can I get this? No. Whitey is enfranchised. The fact that you got to be homeless in 2 weeks and you're living in a hotel and you're existing off the charity of others only because, because you had a horrible accident, you're in dire straits, that's negated by the fact that you're white. And the fact that it was through no fault of your own, well, it doesn't matter. Whitey makes you the ultimate oppressor. But these people, perfectly able-bodied, nothing wrong with them. Oh, well, except they're black, and that makes them victims. So I'm automatically an oppressor. I can't be a victim, but you are automatically a victim. It cannot be an oppressor. It's interesting how that works. 2,000 pounds of food is nothing. What are you doing? Very little, I think. Well, she's a communist, yeah. Church severs ties. So Alpha News reached out to Sanctuary Covenant Church. The church explained when Michaela Jackson approached us to set up a food trap project in our sanctuary front field, we were excited to support her. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she didn't tell them that she would exclude white people. This would be a good place, accessible to anyone 24/7. Really? Are food banks accessible 24/7? No registration necessary. You got to register at a food bank? This would be a place that said, okay, anyone in need would be welcome. Apparently not, as the sanctuary already hosts a community food. By the way, I thought you commies believed in that from each according to their abilities, to each according to their needs, right? Well, only if the needs are from Blackie. If Whitey has needs, to hell with him. So as the sanctuary already hosts a community food pantry, what do you need two for that? Food trap idea, I guess, two is better than one, I suppose. Well, I guess, food trap idea, well, it is only one food bank still if you're white, resonated with us, and we welcomed her and even paid for her electrical? Well, see, she's okay with that because she sees your church as evil white racism and you're all a bunch of oppressors, so you should pay for her electricity. So she can buy more facial piercings because that's art. Yeah, she could buy more hardware for her face. What do you see? This chick's pictures, by the way. Miss Jackson had laid out her entire plan with a written proposal. Nowhere in her original proposal did she indicate that she would be restricting usage to specific communities. This does not align with the vision and mission of the Sanctuary Church. By the way, if she's your typical lefty, doesn't she hate Christianity? I find it interesting that she would set up in a church. Well, these people are all a bunch of hypocrites, though, so, yeah. The state continued. When we discovered her signage and social media posts, we asked her to abide by her original proposal. Miss Jackson was unable to do so and decided to move her food trap elsewhere. Yeah, she'd have to pay rent somewhere. She doesn't like that. She wants to keep as much of this money as she can. The deadline for moving her trap is 9:30. I wonder if she paid rent at the church. They probably gave her the space for free. Not good enough. We already cut power. Great. Love it. You think she was living there as well? Who knows? Nah. Well, maybe. Who knows? In response, Jackson told Alpha News she was, I love this. Yeah, Major Cope. Already had plans to relocate. It was unrelated to the controversy. Right, so the fact that they cut your power and told you to get the hell out had nothing to do with you getting out. I see. She's got an Instagram page. Oh, boy. Oh, and there's a link to it. Should I check it out? Let's see. So there's their Instagram page, and there is the special princess herself. Liberate the people. Black folks, free food, free herbs. Liberate the people. What people do need to be liberated? Oh, black people, right, yeah. What that means is give me free money, give me reparations for slavery I never had to suffer through as I enslave you because of my supposed need. Altruism, baby! Look at her. Multicolored hair. I wouldn't be surprised if there's mold growing in those locks. Multiple piercings. Look at the nose. How much poundage do you think there is in her face? You think that's real gold? Well, she's getting government money, government grant money, so it's probably real gold. Hideous tattoos. She even has tattoos on her face. Wow. This is like the ultimate lefty trifecta here. Facial piercings, multicolored hair, and lots of tattoos. Come with me to fill this 100% free resource hub for Blackie only. Oh, geez. Grand opening. FTP food drive and benefit dinner. No whitey allowed. Woo, it's great. Yeah. Kiko. Oh, yeah. Boy. I wonder what her body count is. Probably quite a bit. And we got some other blown up pictures here. There's one. Look at that. Wow, that says it all. So she's got a tattoo on her chest that says Aboriginal. You're an Aborigine, are you? Are you from Australia? Are you native to America, as you people like to call it? Are you part Indian, sweetheart? Even though they're not native to here either. They crossed the land bridge thousands of years ago. But anyway. Yeah. No, Whitey. Whitey cannot touch. If Whitey touches, that is theft, and I can shoot you. Even though if I'm black and I try to rob you, you can't shoot me. That's racism. Yeah, liberate the people. Yeah, there's some more food there. Lovely. Wow, free stuff, but only if you're black. Yeah, this isn't going to divide people. Oh, no. Chaplain, 54, Howard Dotson, who went to take a look at the pantry for himself, but was refused as a white guy. He looks pretty good for 54, actually. He must take good care of himself. Gee, I guess he eats the right foods. He isn't pre-diabetic like the majority of black people, especially black women, are. I guess he doesn't stuff his face with Twinkies and Ho-Hos. Yeah, I'll give him that. It's a crappy picture, but he looks good for 54. I'll give him that. Dotson, seen here with Governor, I guess it was a better picture than I thought. He don't look so good there. Maybe that was just an old picture. Governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz. Isn't that the guy who's running for vice president now? Woke moron, communist? Filed a complaint with the Minneapolis Civil Rights Commission. Yeah, good luck with that. In one social media post, Jackson states that all are welcome, but the black and indigenous folks are being prioritized. Yeah, she's got to say everybody's welcome, but then, on a micro level, actually there, in person, you're white, get out! Oh, this is great. Yeah. Oh, come with me. So there, look at that. She's hideous. Looks like she's had her lips done, by the way. Probably used that wonderful, yummy government money, the cheddar from her grant, to get the lips done. And if she removed all that crap from her face, didn't have those collagen pumped up lips, well, they look collagen pumped up anyway, I don't know, the horrible cornrows with mold in them, the multicolored hair, all the piercings in her face and the hideous tattoos which are also on her face, which screams uber mega effingist Marxist, she might not be bad looking. But because she's a uber leftist Marxist, she's uggified herself. Okay. So there you go. That's it. The story of the black-only food pantry. A wonderful experiment in communism, which will be coming to a neighborhood near you very soon. I believe there's already one wokey mayor, governor, something that set up a state-run grocery store. Yeah. Using your tax dollars to undercut the local farmer and put him out of business. Which will deprioritize the growing of food in general among the people that are best qualified to grow it. But hey, that's not going to lead to food shortages. Oh no. And stuff like this isn't going to lead to black people feeling ever more entitled to your shit. And free stuff in general. Oh, no. This isn't going to create more division and compound the problems we already have. No. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Is this a good thing? Are black people disenfranchised? Are black people down at the very bottom of society? And are they down at the very bottom because Whitey is up at the very top oppressing them? Even though there's there's more poor white people than there are black people, but somehow blacks are specially oppressed and whites are on top for some reason, even though there's more poor white people than blacks. So if there was some kind of systemic racism that was disenfranchising blacks, that means it's enfranchising whitey, but somehow black people are getting all of the systemic benefits and white people aren't. And this is a perfect example of that, where she's turning away white people and nobody seems to care. But let me know what you think in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you would, please consider checking out my GoFundMe. I recently suffered a horrific injury. I ended up in the hospital. I almost died. I was in septic shock. I had a coronary. It hasn't been that long since I've been at a hospital. So if you could really help me out, I have tons of medical bills. I'm broke. So whatever help you can offer is greatly appreciated. You'll find the link to my GoFundMe down in the description, which will tell you more. And of course, also, you can like, you can subscribe, you can leave a comment. It's good for the algorithm. It gets me more views. And if you'd like to donate, any amount is greatly appreciated, but only if you can afford to. Okay? Anyway, I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.